concept of monotheism, since the creation of man on earth, has been the foundation of all divine messages. There is a big difference between the ancient communities, the pagans who worshipped idols, and we who pay tribute and respect to the Prophet and Imam Ali and Imam Hussein when we call upon them as a gate to Allah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ahli baytihi al-tayyibin al-tahirin al-ma'sumin. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. All our praise and gratitude is due to our Lord, our Creator. And we send His peace and blessings upon all of His messengers and prophets, from Adam through Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and the seal of the messengers, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and upon his pure progeny and family and his righteous companions. We send the peace of the Lord upon you, my dear brothers and sisters worldwide. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In continuation of our series on the concept of Tawheed, monotheism in Islam, we mentioned in the past that Tawheed has several branches. Tawheed al-Dhat, Tawheed al-Sifat, and then we are discussing nowadays Tawheed al-Af'al, the third type or the third branch or dimension, if you will, of monotheism and unity and Tawheed. Tawheed al-Af'al stresses that God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is the cause and the effect. He is behind the cause and the effect of every motion in this universe. That's the meaning of Tawheed al-Af'al. It means every fi'l, every action, every motion, every movement, every enterprise that takes place in this universe, it is with His planning. وَكُلُّ شَيْءٍ عِنْدَهُ بِمِقْدَارٍ إِنَّا كُلَّ شَيْءٍ خَلَقْنَاهُ بِقَدْرٍ وَمَا أَمْرُنَا إِلَّا وَاحِدَةٌ كَلَمْحٍ بِالْبَصَرِ. With His own planning. He is the architect, He is the engineer, He is the director, He is the executor too of every action in this universe. It all belongs to Him. They all report back to the Lord. And nothing can escape His attention and His management and His directory. However, some people ask that if this is the case, God is the generator of every energy and every power and every ability in this universe, why then He doesn't make it easy for us, and then He imposes on us His will so we don't do bad things? Sometimes young people, they come to me because they are young, they have tender hearts. They ask me why God accepts, injustice, why God accepts bloodshed and wars and killing and poverty and sickness and diseases. Why this poor guy, he is just 5 years old, he has been diagnosed with cancer. Where is justice? Where is mercy here? Why God allows for these things to happen? My friends, this is part of our human being human. Some of these things takes place with our own choice. God does not accept them But at the same time, God is not going to reinforce His will upon us without us accepting it or embracing it. He doesn't do that. La ikraha fid din. There is no coercion. God is against coercion. God is against using force. God says, I want you to believe. In order for you to act, in order for you to advocate an idea, you have to believe in it. You have to embrace it first. Once you embrace something, you're going to defend it enthusiastically. We don't need to push you. However, if you need help, I can pull you out. I am there for you. Whenever you are sincere, whenever you are true, you say, oh God, I need you. I need your help. Pull me out of this. He says, I am there for you. Why did He create free choice? Free choice distinguishes between us and animals. Animals have no free choice, and therefore they don't bear any responsibility. Have you ever seen taking a camel or a cow or a horse or a donkey to the prison, to the jail? They say because he's responsible for this accident. They don't take them to jail because they don't have a free choice. They don't plan to do things in their mind and then they choose something evil. They don't do that. Therefore, they are not held accountable. Animals, they don't hold them accountable. While human beings, they are held accountable. Why? Because they have the choice. They contemplate before they do anything. They contemplate. They think about it. And if they make the wrong choice, then definitely they have to be held accountable for what they did. So God says, if I don't give you the freedom of choice, then why should I create paradise and hellfire and reward or punishment? Why should I do that? Because you don't deserve it. Because I am the one who's forcing you to do goodness. Then if I am forcing you and you don't have choice, then you don't deserve the reward. It is not you who are doing the goodness. It is me. I leave it for you to decide. I give you a freedom of choice to decide whether you want to do good or bad. Then if you do good, here you deserve the reward. If you choose to do bad, then you also deserve to receive punishment. And we sent you. Therefore, if we have no choice, because some people argue, my friends, within the Islamic tradition, there are some schools of thought, philosophical schools of thought, which started with the Ash'arite, Abu al-Hasan al-Ash'ari, and it still exists today within some traditions in Islam, who believe that man has no choice. Man is musayyar wa laysa mukhayyar. God has a remote control who's moving us around, left and right. It is not us who are doing that. Man is bereft of choice. From birth till death, everything you do, it is not you. It's not you. God is controlling you. God is imposing on you. And there is a difference here. See, I'm very, very meticulous here. There is a difference between God guiding you or controlling you. There is a big difference. Guiding, He says, I'm helping you. I'm helping you out. When you need me, I am there. I show you the way. إِنَّا هَدَيْنَاهُ السَّبِيلِ إِنَّا هَدَيْنَاهُ السَّبِيلِ أَلَمْ نَجْعَلْ لَهُ عَيْنَيْنِ وَلِسَانًا وَشَفَتَيْنِ وَهَدَيْنَاهُ النَّجْدَيْنِ. This is guidance. Guidance is that someone, okay, giving you the map, GPS, and he says, you want me, you want my help, then follow this direction. but forcing or controlling the one he's doing the driving for you, driving the vehicle for you, and he's taking you to places and destinations that you don't want. You don't want to go, you don't like to go. He says you have no choice. That's the difference between guidance and control. God does not control, he guides. He guides. But this school of thought, it believes that God controls and you have no choice. God wanted you today to be a believer, and he forces you to pray, and he forces you to fast, and he forces you to do good things against your will. And someone, God says, I am planning damnation for this guy. Whatever he does, even if he wants to do good, I would not allow him to do good against his will. So God forces him, wal-iyadhu billah, and God never says that, because the Holy Quran says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَأْمُرُ بِالْفَحْشَاءِ أَتَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. God never forces someone to do bad, to do evil, and then he takes him, he holds him accountable on the Day of Judgment, and he tells him, you did this, I'm punishing you. He wouldn't do that. This is injustice. This does not work with God. God is the builder, is the author, is the introducer of justice and fairness. So he doesn't breach his own law. But this particular school of thought within Islam, they call themselves Muslims. They believe in coercion, in jabr, in jabr. أن الإنسان مسير. They believe that God creates two types of people. One of them, he says, I want you to do good and nothing but good, so I can take you to paradise. And you have no choice. Even if you want to do bad, you have no choice. I prevent you. And then he goes to the second group, and he says to them, you are mala'in, you are cursed. Even if you want to do good, I would not allow you. You have no choice but to do bad, because I want to take you to the hellfire. Where is it in the Quran? Show me. Is this compatible with God's justice? This is how he works? We say, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, the most forgiving, the wise. Does he do that? He doesn't do that. But this is misunderstanding, unfortunately. This is part of narrow-mindedness. When people become fanatics and narrow-minded and ignorant, they don't open up to the truth, they end up saying this nonsense. They attribute to God, أَتَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. They attribute to him wrong things, falsehood, falsehood. So God says, I sent messengers and scriptures and books and warnings and for you to understand, because I have given you the freedom of choice, and I want to reinforce this freedom of choice with guidance, with books, with the prophets, with reminders, one after the other. So you know very well, you know you have a freedom of choice, and you know the consequences. لِأَلَّا يَكُونَ لِلنَّاسِ عَلَى اللَّهِ حُجَّةٌ بَعْدَ الرُّسُلِ. The Quran says. So people do not come to God and stand before him and tell him, God, you didn't tell me about this. You didn't warn me. You did not say this is wrong. You did not say this is illegal. You never sent me a message. You never sent me a warning. How do you punish me? They have no way to say that. He's sending them reminders, warnings. Have you seen sometimes in some countries, when you don't pay your bill, utility bill, electricity or water or gas or whatever, they send you past due bill, a reminder. Sometimes they send one reminder, sometimes second, sometimes third, and the third one is red. A red reminder. It means this is the final warning. After that, if you don't pay the bill, we're going to cut off the electricity. And you can't blame us. You can't call and say, I didn't know, because we are sending you reminders. This is exactly what God does. God sends reminders one after the other. Oh, people, wake up. There is a responsibility. There are consequences for what you are doing, for what you are saying. There are consequences. ما لهذا الكتاب لا يغادر صغيرة ولا كبيرة إلا أحصاها. That book never missed any item. What a smart book is this? Never missed any item. Everything we did is recorded there. So that's the value. And this is good for us, not bad. The freedom of choice is very good. It is an incentive for me. An incentive that the more I do good, the more credit I receive. And nothing is going to be wasted. My deeds are not going to be wasted. If my deeds are good, then the reward is waiting for me there. وَأَنْ لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. On that day you get nothing but what you have done here. What you have done here. In one of the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, he says, O people, إِنَّكُمْ تُحْشَرُونَ كَمَا حَيِيتُمْ فِي هَذِهِ الدُّنْيَا. Do you want to see your place there in the hereafter? Some people are confused. They don't know whether they're going to make it to hellfire or paradise, or they're going to be punished or rewarded. Do you want to know? Look at your life now here. Is it a life of righteousness? Is it a life of obedience? Is it a life of piety and goodness? If this is the case, then don't worry about your future. But if your life is not the right of righteousness, and you know better than me, you can tell yourself, you can answer this question. Everybody can answer this question about his or her life. بَلِ الْإِنسَانُ عَلَى نَفْسِهِ بَصِيرًا. We know. We don't need people to come and tell us I am good or I am bad. God has given me this awareness, this inner vision, this intelligence. Even the criminal knows he's committing a crime. He's doing something bad. Because God has installed inside us something called a device, important device. النفس اللوامة. لا أقسم بيوم القيامة ولا أقسم بالنفس اللوامة. Reproaching soul. When you do bad, the reproaching soul comes to you and says, you did bad. This was a crime. This was a sin. This was a violation. Why did you do that? So it brings you awareness. It's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call. And this is God's mercy. He doesn't want me. He doesn't plan for damnation for me. He wants to save me. He wants me to wake up. So if I commit a sin, He tells me this is a sin, this is a warning. You know, sometimes there are these devices in the airplanes. When the airplane is going into a storm, into a wrong altitude, or approaching a mountain or something, or another airplane, there is a device inside the cockpit. Starts to give warning, makes noises. So the pilot, if the pilot is unaware, he becomes aware there is a danger ahead of him. So he has enough time to recover the airplane. God has given us this device inside us. When we go into a wrong direction, the device says, "Ho, listen, wake up." النفس اللوامة لا أقسم بيوم القيامة ولا أقسم بالنفس اللوامة. That's the value of the freedom of choice. That we make the right choice so we can deserve. And without this freedom of choice, we cannot reach the state of takamul, integrity, or human perfection. Through the struggle in the life, my friends, we have to struggle in this life. Life has to be difficult. There is no easy life. Easy life is for animals, not for human beings. Don't tell me that I'm struggling, I'm in pain, I'm in suffering. My life is difficult for me. This is the course. This is the right course for perfection. You cannot enjoy life unless you go through this road. The road of struggling. You have to struggle. يا أيها الإنسان إنك كادح إلى ربك كدحا فملاقيه. You have to struggle. You have to work hard. If you don't work hard, you get to nowhere. No gain without pain. You have to work hard. Even if you work for the dunya, you have to work hard in order for you to earn, in order for you to succeed. Ask those who made a fortune. Ask those who are billionaires. Ask those who are politicians and leaders, military leaders. Did it come to them for free? They were sleeping in their bed and they called them and they told them, listen, you won the elections, you became the prime minister? No, they worked very hard. The harder they work, the more successful they become. Life is about struggle. إنك كادح إلى ربك كدحا, laboring. Oh man, mankind, you are laboring to your Lord laboriously until you stand before Him. Life is about struggle, my friends. And through this struggle, we reach takamul, human perfection. Otherwise, if there is no struggle, there is no perfection. Life is not easy. Life is always difficult. Life is difficult whether you are a housewife, whether you are a student, whether you are a farmer, whether you are a laborer, whether you are a professor, whether you are an educated person or a person without education. Whether you own a huge mansion, huge land, property, or you are homeless in the street. Life is about struggle. And therefore, in the school of Ahlul Bayt, because we have a freedom of choice, we have this beautiful saying, axiom, the hadith of our sixth Imam, Al-Imam Ja'far ibn Muhammadin al-Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam. لا جبر ولا تفويض وإنما أمر بين أمرين. When it comes to our life, it is neither absolute coercion or force against your will. On the other hand, it is neither complete freedom. And I need to elaborate on this. God does not give complete freedom, by the way. When we say we are free, you are free in 50% of what you do. Another 50%, God has chosen that for you. Such as your parents. Did you choose your own parents? You didn't. Did you choose the date of your birth? Did you choose the place of your birth? Did you choose your own family? Did you choose your age? Did you choose your color? Did you choose your culture? Did you choose your own language? You didn't. They've been predestined upon you. However, these things are irrelevant. Age, color, culture, country, nationality, they are irrelevant. What is relevant, what will decide your future tomorrow on the day of judgment is not your nationality or your color or your language. It is your deeds. So 50% of our life, which is irrelevant on the day of judgment, this has been predestined upon us. While the other 50%, where it is going to determine our future tomorrow on the day of judgment, we have a freedom of choice with them. لا جبر ولا تفويض وإنما أمر بين أمرين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.